What's good, my people? Welcome into No Catch Up Sports Talk via Chicago. I am your host, Sean Little. Big Nick the Quick with me as always. We got lots to talk about. We missed last week, man. People's just traveling for work, man. We try to grind it out, get you as much stuff as we can. I promise. But we're back. College football is hilarious. We're going to talk about a couple of things that we saw over the weekend. You know, we're not big college football guys, but that's how we're going to approach talking about college football. We'll do a little weekend catch up as well. Then we're going to talk about the Bears. Caleb Williams absolutely dealing. The trajectory is going up, people. Then we'll go around the shield after we talk about Bears. Talk about the Bills' clock management. What happened at the end of that game for them to allow the Texans to kick a field goal to win it was absolutely atrocious. We'll talk about clock management, Nick's lists for what he wants in a head coach. Devontae Adams, the situation, the holdout. Is he handling it the right way? We're pro holdout on No Catch Up. What's the best way to go about it? We'll talk about that. Baseball, man, this shit's been off the chain. The baseball playoffs have been lit. If you've been watching, they've been a lot of fun. Mets, Phillies was another thriller. Dodgers, Padres, people getting in fights in the stands, throwing stuff on the field. We're going to talk about if Nick was a pro baseball player, what fit would he rock? How many chains would Big Nick the Quick rock? And then we'll talk a little bit about what's going on with the baseball playoff and what I love about it. Lot to talk about here. No Catch Up. Sports Talk in Chicago. Let's get to it.
Now look at Mossy. Really? Oh, so that's how you're going to play it. You going to do this? Okay, fine. That's all I needed. That's all I needed for him to do that. And it became personal with me.
Big Nick the Quick, what's happening?
Man, how we feeling?
What's the word?
Man, another week, man. Another week, another Bears win. I got a story actually. Shout out to my mans the other night. We were at a party out in I think out in Kenwood. Random, super random. So I'm walking through, we're getting ready to leave. Random dude taps me on the shoulder. He's like, "Yo, you're Nick, right?" So, you know, sometimes you see people and you're trying to place it like, who is this? I don't know who this might be. So I'm just like, what's up, man? Chopping it up. And he's like, yo, I fuck with the pod. So I thought that was pretty dope. I told you about that yesterday, man.
Yeah, fire.
That's what we do it for, man. We out here doing it for the people, man. So it's always love when people recognize it and, you know.
Nah, of course, all day.
Shout out my mans out there for sure.
That's what I'm talking about, man. Tell a homie to tell a friend. Pass it along.
Pass the word, man.
Pass the word, bro. I got this. I'm trying to get the Spotify thing updated. If you listen on Spotify, I was working with them online. I switched podcast hosts. It is now getting moved over and migrated so it could transfer over seamlessly over the new episodes on Spotify. So be on the lookout for that. If not, just watch the video, man. I'm working on it. Don't trip. College football is hilarious. Look, I don't even need to recap my weekend because I sat in the crib all weekend. I didn't do anything because the next 3 weekends I'm going out of town. So I was like, you know what, Sean, sit your ass in the house and tell your girl we sitting our ass in the house because that's half the battle. Your girl be around you. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to. She's bored. You can feel the pressure radiating onto you. Like, take this girl out. But I'm like, nah. We stand in the crib, order some food. We not doing nothing. We're not doing
all that. Yeah,
we chilling. That's it.
It's tough to step out nowadays, man. I took my girl to lunch on Saturday. It was $70. So I'm like,
oh yeah,
it's getting out of control out here. Lunch.
Breakfast. I had a $70 breakfast the other day.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, I'm out of town next 3 weekends. I'm like, let me just go ahead and chill because next 3 weeks, 4 weeks are very active, and then the NBA starts, so that's gonna get super cracking. So I was like, let me just chill. But college football is hilarious. Nick, I'm gonna go first. I thought the Washington Huskies at home playing against the Michigan Wolverines was a great spot to make some money on Washington. If it won, I thought it would. That's why I played it. But either way, I just thought it was the right side. First road game for Michigan. Orgy, he's a young dude. He was going to play. He ended up getting taken out, and that's when it got a little spooky. But first road game, Washington having a sufficient offense that would be able to put up points. Michigan would be in the spot where they had to come from behind, I think. So it ended up being a good win. But college football is hilarious, man. Outside of all the upsets, I wanted to bring up this specific situation. I'm watching Michigan Washington. Washington scores a touchdown. They bring out the extra point. The graphics on the screen are going crazy. No one says a word about anything. They show the replay, everything. They kick the extra point. Noah Eagle is on the call. He's great, by the way. Salute Noah Eagle. He's going to be in the game for a long time. Good. He updates the score. We'll be right back. Let's go to break. They go to break, Nick. Come back from break, and it's third down. I'm like, wait. What you mean it's third down, bro? They just scored a touchdown, kicked the extra point, and went to commercial. This only happens in college football. That would never, ever happen.
So they had a whole nother play and then pulled the touchdown back after they had a play?
They scored a touchdown, kicked the extra point. The place kicker dapped up the holder. Noah Eagle said the score out loud. We'll be right back from the beautiful scene in Northwest Washington. And we came back, and it was third and goal.
Touchdown disappeared.
Touchdown disappeared, bro. So Noah then went on to explain that someone buzzed from somewhere and it went under review right before the extra point, but people didn't know that it came in time. It's just like some shit that only happened in college football. Don't worry about it. All good. Washington scores on the next play. But it's like, well, man, college football is a wild ass place.
It's not a real sport. It's not a real sport. So mine isn't as specific, but I will say this. Every weekend I feel like, all right, man, I'm going to sit down. I'm going to watch a little bit of ball. There's always a big matchup, whether it's your big noon Saturday or whatever it might be. And I feel like I always walk away with the same thoughts that, A, this is not a real sport. There's no quarterbacks to be found. Georgia and Alabama the last week was electric. That was awesome. But it's kind of once in a blue moon, right? Otherwise, it's like what happened to me on Saturday. So like I said, I went out to lunch. I'm sitting at the bar. They got Mizzou versus Texas A&M on. I watched one quarter of this game. Mizzou's quarterback, who, mind you, is in his 5th year of college, right? So this isn't a freshman. Yeah. This isn't someone who just got here. He was 13 for 31. 13 for 31. On consecutive passes, I watched him bounce a ball off a receiver's head for what would have been a touchdown, underthrow another touchdown, and overthrow another one right after that. And I'm sitting there, and the guy next to me at the bar is a Mizzou's fan. I'm like, hey, is this guy any good? He's like, yeah, I mean, he's been our guy for a while. I'm like, what am I watching here? Like, yeah, dude. And again, we've talked about this before. There's maybe only 10 people on the planet Earth that can actually play quarterback at a high level, and none of them are in college. Maybe if you're lucky, you get one or two of these guys who are in college. There's not enough of the guys to fill the NFL, but just watching college football, betting college football, whole nother nightmare. I had a whole bunch of prop bets last week that I felt great in. Half the guys, to your point, got benched for something stupid in the first quarter. They don't get any more carries after that. It's just you can't set your clock to it. Like college football, rushing props are dust. Because if he makes one mistake, he'll never see the field again.
It's just a lot of wild shit going on. Bama,
it's just wild.
And if you're a betting person and you have the stomach to bet on college football, I would say this, man. Nah, bro, it's pretty nasty. I mean, I like the Washington spot, but like it's really, really nasty. I would say this. All the upsets last week, you just actually were just talking about one with Mississippi State. That was an upset. We had Bama go down number 1. They lost.
Vanderbilt.
Yeah, like crazy. That Vanderbilt would never be like a top 5 program in their history. They were like 0 for 60 or something crazy. But like Cal was up big on Miami. They had to score 21 points in the fourth quarter. USC lost outright. It's just every week. Louisville
Alabama
lost.
Game last week. Alabama was up by like 40.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy.
And Georgia
right?
took the lead in the fourth quarter.
Exactly. Yeah. Look, so before we move off college and get to the Bears here, I would, if you're trying to make money and bet spots in college football and you're not that locked in or you spend most of your time breaking down NFL and NBA and stuff coming up like we do pro stuff. Anytime you see a big time team come off either a big upset win or a big roller coaster win in general, almost always a fade spot in the next week. Bama comes off that roller coaster, massive 1-2 game at home versus Georgia. They go up big, go down, come back and win. They go to Vanderbilt. Oh, we're going to roll these boys out. They probably partied all week, had the extra Johns coming through. Milrose now the Heisman favorite. The whole package.
The whole
Nick.
thing. Yeah. Ryan Williams, the greatest receiver I've ever seen.
Yep. Then we're going to go over to Nashville and Vanderbilt. Man,
Kellen DeBoer doesn't lose games.
Nick Saban, all this bullshit.
Yeah.
They go down to Vanderbilt and lose outright. They were like a 28.5 point, 30-point favorite. Another spot. So fade big letdown spots after huge wins and then look to fade teams that have a look-ahead spot. USC hosts Penn State this coming Saturday. But in between, USC had to go to Minnesota at night and play them in their place. We'll just go ahead and take care of that, and then we'll head out home to LA and host Penn State. They're already prepping for Penn State. Minnesota ends up winning outright. Penn State has a game against UCLA. Spreads 28.5. UCLA is garbage. We'll take care of this, then get out to LA and take care of business. They don't cover that number. So those are the two angles you could look to attack, if anything, for college football, because the shit is so unpredictable. Those are spots I like to look at.
Think about what we just said, though. This is how crazy we are. Minnesota is hosting UCLA. USC is hosting fucking Penn State. Like it's just crazy out here. Like I said, I was watching.
Like the Big Ten, yeah.
Oh, the Big Ten, yeah. We're just traveling across the country. It's
USC,
nothing. It
Penn
is what
State.
it is. Oregon's playing Nebraska or whatever. It doesn't matter, man. We're just going all over the place. We're just scheduling games. Guys are leaving in the middle of the season because the NIL money wasn't right. Like it is literally the wild, wild west. It's a disaster. I think I'm done betting on it until next week, and I see something that I like. But every week I tell myself I'm out. I didn't touch anything
until next week when I see something I like.
I didn't touch anything last week or this week because it was just such a bloodbath for me last week. But I know I'll be right back on it. But yeah, you cannot set your clock to it. It's not a real sport. And look, man, we talk about all the time the quality. I get a lot of people have a lot of
the pageantry is fun.
Right?
I get it.
Pageantry. It's the pride of your university. It's what you did on Saturdays when you were in college. But if you're going to sit here and tell me that that's good football, like you're out of your mind.
College football,
and that extends to college basketball as well, too. By the way.
Oh, without question.
Disaster.
College football is hilarious. If we see something we think is funny, we'll call it out here on No Catch Up. That's how we're going to talk about college ball. All right, let's get to the pros, man. The big boys. They have enough problems getting shit done. We see what's going on in Cleveland. Let's talk about the Chicago Bears. Come on, man. Hey, look, I know.
It's gotten real quiet last couple of weeks, all the people saying Bears made a mistake, huh?
Hey, I understand it's against the Panthers. 36-10, though. They smashed those boys. 20 of 29, 304, 2 touchdowns. Bears win 36-10, now 3-2. Protecting the home field, 3-0 at the crib. Big Nick the Quick. Couple takeaways. Talk to me.
There's only one takeaway that matters for me. I called you right after the second DJ Moore touchdown, which was a high level ball, right? When you guys hear us talk about this, we always talk about high level throws, right? A lot of guys can make the wide open throw, the easy throw that looks good. We talk about high level throws. That's what Caleb Williams had on the touchdown to DJ Moore last week, which I saw live in the building, and the touchdown yesterday to DJ Moore. Caleb Williams is here. Hey, listen, first couple games, he had to get used to the speed. People were on his ass. The play calling was brutal, right? They didn't know what they were doing. Last 3 weeks, now that he's settled in, right, culminating in yesterday, hey, we're good, man. Like, I've seen what I need to see, and I feel confident in saying this. Like, I never said this with Mitch. I never said this with Justin, right? Like, with Justin, there'd be flashes and things like that, but the throwing of the football and different things that we really look for a guy to be elite, ball placement like we always talk about, it's there. The confidence is there. I said it yesterday. Guy loves ball, right? Caleb loves ball.
What makes you say that? Why do you say that? Why did you say that when you texted me that?
Because he enjoys it. He just enjoys it, man. We talk about it with Mahomes too. Like some of these guys just love going out there and competing and playing ball. Caleb loves it. Like I know people were giving him shit last week about dancing into the tunnel and doing all that. The guy loves ball. He likes winning football games. He likes being good at football. You listen to him talk. I think he's got the leadership down pat. You could tell the guys respect him. Now that he's on the same page as DJ Moore, they're making beautiful music. We're good, man. I've seen everything I need to see. I'm good. We're here. So yeah, I think he loves ball. I think he's a competitor. I think we had a lot of misconceptions about him probably coming in, just kind of based off the persona. And he was the first of kind of like the big time NIL guys. So, is this guy going to be a diva? Is he a prima donna? How is he going to fit into an NFL locker room? I think it's all good, man. Like I'm sold. I'm ready. We got a quarterback. That's all that matters. And we got a defense. You give me those two things, we're ready to go. I don't care. People are, it's Carolina. Whatever, man. Carolina sucks. That's fine. But the fact of the matter is he's making these throws against NFL defenses. And shout out Waldron to some extent for understanding that, hey, I need to change what I'm doing to better fit what these guys do well. And it sounds like they had a conversation a couple of weeks ago with Waldron, and those changes have been made. And it sounds like Caleb was a big part of that. So, look, man.
I like that. That was good to hear. Like, hey, man, the fuck
what
are
doing?
you?
What are
we doing, man? Let's get together and figure out. Hey, Shane Waldron, let's get together and figure out what we think will be effective on a week-to-week, possession-to-possession, play-to-play basis. Because when the offensive coordinator and the quarterback, especially for a young guy in offense, isn't aligned, it really goes awry. Because a perfect example is it goes awry when you're a veteran and a guy like Aaron Rodgers and Nathaniel Hackett aren't aligned, and he believes that things are being called that shouldn't be called. The frustration shines through. The offense looks stagnant. So, yeah, when I heard that Caleb and Allen and DJ and the rest of the guys got together, I was encouraged by that. Also, we talked about a lot of people owe DeAndre Swift an apology. I mentioned this week 1, week 2. DeAndre Swift is not a guy you run between the tackles. Yeah. Period. Get the guy in space, and he will make an impact. That's what he does. Get him out on the edge. He will make an impact. And that's what he's done the last couple of weeks. The usage of DeAndre Swift from Waldron has been a lot better. To go through some of these team stats over here, 4 red zone possessions, 3 touchdowns. That's what we like to talk about when we talk about offense and what we're going to do. Points per drive, 2.8. In other words, we were getting the ball. We were scoring, at least putting up 3. Offensively, they just looked a lot better, and I know that Carolina is a bad football team, and Andy Dalton probably got too much love for being a bump coming off of Bryce Young, but Bryce Young had been that bad. That was always a really good spot for the Bears to get a W, and they didn't just get a W, Nick. They buried them.
They smacked these boys around.
Yes. Also, I don't know if Jaquan Brisker got rocks in his helmet or in his shoulder pads, but there are certain guys in the league that when they come downhill and hit people, it looks and feels different. What he did to that boy on Carolina yesterday, Treble, Lord have mercy. Yeah. It looked like a prize fight. And I hate to glorify the hit because my man was out cold. It looked like a prize fight, Nick. It looked like he caught a right hook to the jaw. He went out. Lights were completely blacked out, and he dropped the ball immediately. Brisker hopped up, takes his helmet off, and he's got the orange shiesty on. He is just a menace, bro. Yeah. There is a lot of dogs in that secondary and on that defense. Tremaine Edmonds played awesome. Kyler Gordon, 6 and 9. Watch out for those boys. Brisker and Gordon are they are not guys to play with. Yeah. They're not guys to play with.
Tyreek Stevenson.
TJ Edwards.
Yeah.
Monster.
Machine. Yep.
Hey, Dexter?
Oh, he's great.
What he's doing inside?
Yeah, Dexter's awesome.
He's moving boys around.
And a lot of people thought we should have taken Jalen Carter in that spot. I think we ended up getting Dexter in the second round. This guy is all pro. He's awesome.
He is.
The defense.
Yeah,
the defense is
awesome.
playing lights out. The defense is playing lights out. They have been every single week. If you give them a chance and you don't leave them on the field too long, which is one of the problems that the offense had. But yeah, it's been a complete turnaround, and you see Caleb get into the groove, and now you're starting to see the talent show through, right? Like we knew it was there. Even in the beginning, we were seeing things where it's like, man, if he just gets the time, like he's got the right idea. But he was running around out there, man. Look, no, I've said it a million times. No quarterback can throw the football from their back. And no one's good at running around like that when you're constantly facing pressure. The protection has gotten better. They're doing this thing where they're shifting around the line a lot and bringing guys in and out. And I guess that's working. It's linemen by committee almost is what the Bears are doing right now. Obviously, that's not a long-term solution. And your number one priority in the offseason should be acquiring offensive linemen to protect Caleb Williams, because when you have a quarterback, the number one responsibility you have to him is to protect them. I talk about this every single week. You build the football team from the trenches. While I like shiny toys, I love receivers, I love running backs, they can't do anything if your guy can't get them the ball, and he can't get them the ball if he's on his ass. So obviously you still need to address that. Don't trick yourself into thinking that it's okay. Ask Joe Burrow about that, right? You let the offensive line problems linger for too long, you run into a lot of issues. But man, overall, like I'm feeling good about the direction of the team. I still want to fire Matt Eberflus, but I'm feeling good, man. I mean, we got a quarterback. That's what it really comes down to. I know it's only been 5 games, but I don't know. I'm interested to know where you are with that. Like, have you seen what you need to see?
What, with Caleb?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a lot of high level stuff that he's doing for how early it is. Like the touchdown to DJ Moore. If you go back and watch it from the snap, he moved the safety from the left hash exactly where he put the ball for DJ Moore, moved him almost damn near to the numbers on the right side.
Took him out the play completely.
Yeah, that was high level. And I think this is actually a really good example, and Collinsworth brought this up yesterday. Justin Fields, who we know we're rooting for, and we love the kid, and we hope he continues to ball in Pittsburgh, and he didn't play that well last night, but continues to play really well and gets a new deal because he's up for a contract, and we hope that that's the case. But, like, there was a couple throws yesterday, especially on balls up the seam, where Justin Fields is throwing line drives. He's putting heat on balls. Caleb looks right, moves the safety, comes back left, and just a little air, just a little dime, just put a little air on it, let DJ, because DJ is going to beat the guy one-on-one, and let DJ go up and two-hand catch it at a high point for 6. If you drop back and try to fire that in there, which Justin Fields tended to do and did a few times last night on Sunday Night Football against the Cowboys, you have to put it just so perfectly. It's a lot tougher. There's just a lot more room for error here on this throw, and it looks like a dime, and it was. So touchdown, DJ Moore. DJ Moore had 2. DJ Moore's feet and balance and lower half is so elite. You know how many people catch that first touchdown and run out of bounds?
Yeah.
I would say 85% of the league catches that post corner and run right out of bounds.
Like he stopped and then came. Yeah, that was crazy.
He stops, tiptoes. I'm like, oh, that's a great completion. And then he turned it up for 6. I'm like, okay, he's different.
Even the little sidearm joint to Komet, like that's improvisation. You know what I mean? Like the play wasn't there. He moved around a little bit, caught Komet there. Komet takes it up for 20 yards. I still think they need to use Cole Komet more, but hey, listen, man, I'm there's high level shit going on there for sure on some of these passes.
Yeah,
and his
no
processing,
doubt.
man, like he's not, a lot of rookies and younger guys, it's kind of like 1 read, 2 read. Okay, now what do I do? Right? Like he is processing and scanning the field when he gets that time. Going to his second, third options on plays, bringing it back, like you said, moving the safety, escaping pressure, right? Like I think he's still, you said this yesterday, he still has a habit of running backwards, which you cannot do in the NFL. But yeah, you just can't. The guys are too fast, and you're going to end up. That was Fields' problem. Justin likes to run backwards, but Justin's a better athlete than Caleb is. But there's going to be some stuff you still got to clean up, obviously, from a rookie. But man, some of the completions, he's the most talented thrower of the football that we've had probably ever. outside of our guy Jay Cuddy. Jay Cuddy had a live
Jay
one.
Cuddy.
Jay Cuddy had a live one. Had a live one.
Yeah.
But
facts.
as far as just like, in our recent history, you go to Mitch, you go to Justin. Those guys were great athletes, but their quarterbacking skills needed to be polished up. This guy as a quarterback, yeah, I'm just seeing stuff, man. And I can point out several different moments over the last 2 weeks where it's just like these are the throws that the top guys make.
Yeah, no doubt. DJ Moore, 8 targets. Cole Kmet, 4 targets. I would love to get him more. Look, we got a lot of weapons now. It's tough to get him involved when, like, Rome had 6 targets. Keenan had 6 targets. Gerald Everett had 2 targets. So if you look at it this way, our number one receiver, Caleb went to our number one receiver, had 8 targets. Then between Cole and Everett, they had 6 total targets. Then it went 6 targets to Rome, 6 targets to Keenan, and then a couple to DeAndre Swift. Like, that's balanced.
Very.
He's moving that joint around. The only thing I think the Bears need that's pretty glaring now is we don't get pressure, man. We don't get enough.
Not at all. No.
We don't get enough pressure. And that was one of the concerns coming into the game, right? Not the year, I should say. We need another edge. As good as Dexter's playing in the middle, we could really use another edge to complement him and why am I blanking on our Montez Sweat on that other side, right? So yeah. I think that's the only thing, but not a lot of negatives to say, man. There's a lot of every Monday I always dive into like the high level stuff. PFF drops their grades at noon Eastern. I'll jump into like the NFL premium. By the way, I don't know how many super analytical heads we have on this pod, but the NFL premium shit is unbelievable. They got
the all 22s.
Oh my God, dude! You could watch anything. Every Monday I go back and watch every drop back from Caleb. I go through. They got completion percentage over expected. They got. The numbers that you could pull out of this NFL premium are pretty crazy. But before we move on to the Bears, because we can talk about them all day, we know that. Hey, be on the lookout, man. CHSN, they just launched October 1st, the new local station. We're going to be doing some stuff with them. We're going to be coming out with a Chicago-only episode, I believe, weekly. We're finalizing the details on the paper for that, so stay tuned there. That's exciting stuff. But we're gonna have a little separate side show that'll be Chicago, everything only, especially here with the Bulls coming up. So that'll be a lot of fun. But anything else on the Bears before we move on? Big Nick, quick. Go around the league.
I'm happy, man.
Yeah.
Good. I'm happy.
Yeah.
We're good.
We need a new coach.
Fire Eberflus.
Yeah, still. I don't like
So that's the thing I don't like. Yeah, that is my thing on the Bears. I was thinking about this yesterday. We keep buying
if they're good
more time.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
keep buying them more time. Like if they go 9-8 or 10-7, this guy's back. It's hard. It's gonna be hard to fire him. I'm still out on him. I know we're gonna talk about game management and things like that later. He fails in all those departments for me. Again, great defensive coordinator if his hands are in the defense. I don't know why my man's also isn't getting the credit. The defensive coordinator. Man, what's his name? Light-skinned dude.
Yeah.
Eric Washington?
Something like that. The young boy.
No, he's not young. He's an old dude.
Well, who am I talking about? Eric Washington. Yeah, that's him.
Eric Washington.
Yeah.
Hey,
okay, yeah.
Birthday's October 29th. I just looked it up here. Shout out him. Same birthday as me. But the defense is playing well, man. He's not getting any credit. They're making it seem like Eberflus is doing this. So yeah, shout out to him, man, because the defense is playing well.
Yeah, no doubt.
But fire Eberflus.
Yeah, man, come on. That shit's not changing either.
Yeah.
Because I think, but last point on that, I don't want to talk negative because they're playing well. He's the head coach, right?
For sure.
But
yeah.
I think I can speak for Nick in saying this. We're always thinking big picture. We're always thinking, how can we save games and seasons and progress this a little faster? In my opinion, Matt Eberflus isn't the real guy long term.
No.
He has proven that to me already. So the fact that we could be in a situation where he is the coach for another 2 full seasons perturbs me a little bit, yeah? So that was why it was such a big deal to move off of him for me last year, because I'm thinking about the Bears actually competing for the NFC and getting that type of motion. He's not the guy. Just like Mike McCarthy's not the guy for the Cowboys. They should move off him. There's certain guys in the league that I think we've seen enough of that aren't the guys that could take you to the promised land. And you want to be confident in your coach in that sense. We could clean up different things here because I believe this guy can take us to the promised land. That's the negativity that I have for Eberflus. I just don't believe he's the guy to take us to the promised land and competing year in, year out in NFC championship type games and hosting playoff games at Soldier Field. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Good guy.
Cool.
Great guy.
Players
guy.
love him. You can tell. Yeah. Not a good coach.
Great guy. Great guy. Let's move on to some more coaching mishaps. And let's start with the Buffalo Bills. One of the marquee games of the day yesterday. First of all, that early slate, Nick, that shit was out of hand. Bears got a big ass W. Cincinnati, Baltimore.
If you didn't watch that game, go ahead and rewatch it. Everything that could happen did happen in that game.
Yes, I mean, the funny thing about while I get sidetracked, of course, the play of the year people so far are saying, I always think it's funny when the play of the year, Lamar Jackson,
that's crazy,
gets the ball, runs around, does all types of shit, throws a touchdown pass. But I always think it's funny when the play of the year is caused by the person that's making the play of the year. Lamar just flat out drops the shotgun snap. He drops it on the ground. Yeah. He picks it up and then makes the play of the year. How about we just don't make the play of the year and we catch the snap clean and get things rolling that way? Because later on in the game, Lamar drops another shotgun snap, which almost cost them the game and probably should have. Because then the center or the holder drops the snap, and since he can't kick the field goal. But the 1 o'clock window was crazy.
One of the most ridiculous games you'll ever see.
Yeah, go back and watch the high-end highlights if you don't want to, or the condensed replay of Cincinnati and Baltimore if you don't want to watch the full thing. But yeah, it was ridiculous.
And it's a cross-off. It's a cross-off game for Cincinnati, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's true.
They're done.
Yeah, they're in dire straits.
They're 0-3 at home.
Yeah, it's Baltimore, New England. Who's the third? And Washington cracked them.
Yeah, they've lost
on national TV.
Yeah, they lost to New England and Washington at home. That's not good.
I
don't know how long my man's over there makes it. Also,
yeah, Zach Taylor.
Yeah, his seat's probably warm.
All right. Speaking of warm, I don't think this guy's seat's warm, Sean McDermott, but this was absolutely egregious. If you didn't see it last night, you tell, because you watched. I caught it the second time, but this is on the top of the list for Nick and things that bother him. So talk him through it, and then we'll talk about coaching and the whole deal.
Game is 2020. They end up getting a big stop on the Texans, right? I don't think it was 3 and out, but they end up getting a stop, get the ball back, 2020 with 32 seconds left, deep in their own territory.
They're on their own.
They're on like the
4
2-yard line. Yeah, they're like deep in your own territory. So there's a couple different ways you can play this. I'm not against trying a pass to see what you can do, right? See if maybe you can get a little bit further out there. You have Josh Allen, you have some playmakers. I'm not against that. What they end up doing is proceed to run 3 straight pass plays, including on second down, going completely empty out of the shotgun. 3 straight pass plays, 3 straight incompletions. Mind you, I told you that they had 32 seconds when they got the ball. They end up punting with 16 seconds. So in 3 plays in that situation, you burn off 16 seconds of clock. Houston still has all of their timeouts, right? So now you end up.
Now, did that spook him though? Did that spook him?
It might have.
What happened? My fault.
It might have, but that's fine. I also am not against just playing for overtime in that situation, right?
My fault. At least finish what happened, and then we'll talk about it.
At least force them to burn a timeout. Anyways, so they go ahead. They burn 16 seconds in 3 plays in this situation. Still have not moved off the 4-yard line. Have not gained a single yard. End up punting, right? They punt 5 yards outside of Fairbairn's field goal range. Houston comes up, runs 1 play, picks up the 5 yards, kicks the field goal, calls a timeout, kick the field goal, ball game over, 23-20. We don't even see overtime, right? So, yeah, were they maybe spooked because Houston had the 3 timeouts? Sure, but you still have a situation where you can, at that point in time, just play for overtime then. Pass it on first down. If it doesn't work, run on the next 2 downs, burn some clock, and at least maybe you picked up 4 or 5 yards or something like that running the ball, and you're pinning them a little bit deeper back, right? Now they need to pick up 12, 13 yards instead of having to pick 5 to get it into Fairbank's field goal range. You do none of that. You run 3 passes that go absolutely nowhere. 2 of them have a chance of getting intercepted, and you burn 16 seconds left. You give it back to Coleridge. They run one play, kick a field goal, game over. Shit like that, like, again, make a decision. Right? Like, either you're going to try to go ahead and, like, get a big play, or you're going to run the clock out and go to overtime knowing that you have Josh Allen in overtime. You do neither. You run 3 plays that make 0 sense. You burn off no time. You give them the ball back with a short field, and that's that. And remember, in that situation, you also have the ability that you could get a holding call in the end zone on a safety. Like, a lot can go bad in that situation, especially going empty. Like, a lot can go bad. They got Will Anderson on the other side. They have a good defense over there in Houston. D'Amico knows what he's doing. It's just so much could go bad.
Yeah, that's a great call out that you can get a hold and then the game's over anyway.
Game's over.
Game's over if you get a hold in the end zone.
If you get a hold in the end zone, the game is absolutely over.
Yeah, intentional grounding. Game's over.
Game's over. A million different. None of them good. Run the clock out and go to overtime. Like, I think, again, you're asking Josh Allen to drive 96 yards down the field. Really, 60 yards down the field.
Well, okay, hold on, because I don't think they were trying to get out to kick a field goal. I think they were spooked this is just my opinion. They were spooked that they had 3 timeouts, so they wanted to get a first down, and then they'd go ahead and end the game, right?
But the ball 30 yards down the field.
I don't. I don't know.
First is only 10.
First down is still 10 yards, right?
It's still 10 yards. Yeah, you don't need to get. We don't need 30 here. Like, nothing says that we need 30 here.
Either way, it needs to be a position where Josh Allen's in 3rd and 5 at the very least. Then now the Texans have 1 timeout, and you then have Josh Allen where you could roll him out. You could let him potentially do a lot of different things where he could pick up 5 yards. You have to probably run the ball on 1st and 2nd down at the very least, and then try to throw it on that. And if not, make them burn the final, and then they have to try to do something without any timeouts, and then it's a little different. And hopefully on one of those runs, you could pick up 4 or 5 yards, and then at least
make it a tougher situation for them. And that situation is massive.
4 or 5 yards in that situation is massive. Exactly. Yeah, it's a misstep. So
they need to run one play for 5 yards. And to your point, though, let's take it even further. Had you done that, they need to run one play now for 10 or 12 yards, and they only have 1 timeout to do it.
Correct. Exactly. And that
situation becomes 10 times more difficult.
And that's if you ended up going with incompletion on 3rd and 5.
Yes. Yeah, right, not getting a first down.
Exactly. So
with a running quarterback at that, who can pick you up to 5 yards if you need it.
And I think it's one of those things too where it's like, yo, Josh, in this helmet, hey, it's 3rd and 5 here. It's 3rd and 6 here. If you don't see anything that's going to be a completion, run it so they have to burn the timeout.
Yeah. And
like
slide.
Just slide. Exactly. Different things like that, right?
Don't go out of bounds. Yeah.
Don't run out of bounds.
Listen, there's a lot of different things that you could do. What you don't do is what they did.
Exactly.
It's that simple. Fact. I mean, what you don't do is what they did.
Yeah,
of all the things that you can do in situational football, and we talk about it, like, that's a lot of these coaches, man. Like, again, McDermott, you're not calling offense, you're not calling defense, right? Like, that's not what you do. You are managing the game and managing the football game team. So you need to be very sound situationally, like extremely sound situationally. You have to know what to do in that situation. You are not a coordinator.
So you're saying
your job is clock management and game management.
That's the call up to the OC like, yo, I need.
Yeah, I don't care what
here.
Joe Brady wants to do. Joe, this is what we're doing here.
Yes, exactly.
Get creative if you want to, but please don't go empty on second down out of shotgun in our own end zone. So that Josh is getting the snap 5 yards into his own end. I mean, he could Orlovsky it. A million different things could happen in that situation. None of them are good. Nothing. When I saw them go 5 wide, I said nothing good comes out. There's not a single thing that he's not going to run it from there. You're putting him 5 yards back from a shotgun.
Yeah.
So what are we doing here? Nothing good is going to come from. I didn't even need to watch that play to tell you that it wasn't going to be good.
Yeah. You go second down.
Second down, 5 wide. What is this, Madden?
For the
hey, if you asked Madden, he wouldn't have told you to do that one. I guarantee you that.
I remember when Ask Madden came out. Yeah. You can press the X and Madden will give you the
Madden
play.
Will give you a play. He would not say, I think we should go empty 5 wide here. Shit is incredible. Every week we see it. You know, I've been on coaching malpractice for a long time. It's getting out of control.
So that reminds me, I wanted to ask Nick, give me your top traits in a head coach ranked. What's the number one responsibility of the head coach? Start there. Is it clock management? Is it culture?
It's culture, game management, delegation, right? Again,
because,
not every.
Hold on, let me help you out here, because I believe culture almost seeps in to the time management sense of like,
sure,
there is no way that we're not gonna run the ball in this spot.
Well, and you know what's funny, man? Like, so I know like people are still giving Brady shit, which is crazy. But if you listen to Brady on these broadcasts, right, you really start to understand the difference. In every situation, he is telling you what you should and shouldn't be doing it, and he's calling it right away, right? Like, so again, if you watch the game he did Arizona and who the Cardinals play yesterday?
The
Niners. Cardinals, right? And he's just going situation by situation by situation. Even spots where it's like, okay, we got the 3 here. Don't do anything stupid to jeopardize the 3. He's been on that all year. When teams get into field goal range, like you can tell that's how Belichick would coach them. Hey, we want a touchdown, but we don't want to get ourselves in a situation where we're giving up 3, right? So if we have a chance of putting 3 on the board right here, don't do things to take that away. So yeah, I think that is culture. But it's also your head coach understanding situation. Like, I think that is really important. So if you're going to be a guy, because there's only so many guys who can call plays still, right? And who are X and O's guys. We talk about Mike Tomlin every week. I tell you every single week, he does not pick up the playbook. He does not pick up the playbook. That's not what he does. He doesn't know where it is. He doesn't care about where it is. But he is managing the situation in there. He's managing the situation of football. Andy Reid. We love Andy Reid. When the last time you think Andy Reid was in a defensive meeting? Ever?
A long time ago.
Does he see Spagnuolo during the week?
He says what's up to Spags. That's about it.
All right.
What's up, Spags?
Chris okay? Chris and those boys okay? All right, man.
Everything
see you on Sunday. You good?
I got you. Hey, I got you Chris back, so we're going to need y'all to produce.
Yeah. I'm going to need you. Don't worry about it. I got you. Yeah, but that's delegation, right? You delegate. You have the right people in the right position to help you out. So like that to me is extremely important. If you don't, you have to be intelligent. You have to understand situational football, because that's the difference between winning and losing. What have we killed Mike McCarthy for years? On paper, from head coaching record and everything, Mike McCarthy's a good coach on paper until you watch the game. And until the situation gets tight and he makes massive blunders all the time. Now, he's gotten better the last couple of years, but what was it like 3 or 4 years ago where he had like 4 straight weeks where he was just doing shit that just didn't make sense at the end of the game and costing you ball games? Like that
letting
stuff
40,
matters.
45 seconds run off the clock for no reason.
Yeah, for no reason. Yeah, delay of games and just all this stupid shit for no reason. That's what happened yesterday. So when you talk about, I don't think McDermott's seat should be hot. Well, yes, it should, because that's a game you should have won, or at least put yourself in a position to win. Everything you did in the last 32 seconds of that game was taking yourself out of a position to win the football game. So yeah, you have to understand situational. So it's culture, number 1. Number 2 is game management. Number 3 is delegation. Either you delegate it to yourself to be the play caller, like our boy Mike McDaniel, singular, out there in Miami, or you do the Mike Tomlin where you bring in people who do that, but you run the program, right? Like, come on, man. It's pretty simple. What you can't do is not know what to do in that situation when literally everybody else is watching the game. That's the other thing. We're sitting here watching these games saying, what are we doing here?
Yeah,
And all we do is watch
always...
football. All we do is watch football. You haven't put on pads in 20 fucking years.
Yeah,
that's all we do. Is we're not coaches. We're not involved in the game day to day. We watch it every day, and it's easy what you're supposed to do in that situation and what you're not supposed to do in that situation. And too often with a lot of these coaches, it's just like, what are you doing? Live to play another game. Live for overtime if you got to. Like Tom Brady says, don't give up the 3. If the 3 is there, keep the 3. Don't do things to take yourself out of field goal range in those situations. And too often you see coaches do it. So yeah, culture, management, and delegation.
Yeah, clock management. I think
clock management is huge.
The culture thing is really interesting because I believe if you have a really strong culture, it bleeds in to a situation like Buffalo. I believe if Joe Brady's head coach was Mike Tomlin, he knows he's running the rock because Mike Tomlin would kill him if he didn't.
So what are you doing?
That's a culture.
Yeah.
That's the culture
absolutely.
that's set.
Yes. You would
Tomlin,
answer the mic
right?
at the end of that. Yeah.
Yes. You would be like, what the fuck is going on here, bro?
Yeah. Joe, what are we doing? Yeah.
So that goes with culture. But yeah, I agree with that top 3. All right.
And it doesn't have to be, and like when we talk culture, it doesn't have to be like warm and like Belichick, notoriously not warm and fuzzy, right? But the culture and the standard was you're here to win. And that's why I thought it was funny. Remember they asked Brady about that Tampa Bay shit when Baker's like, yeah, Baker's like, guys are having fun now. And Brady goes, I thought winning Super Bowls was fun.
Yeah, facts.
Y'all want to have fun.
What are we talking about?
What are we talking about? I got 7 pieces of fun right here. Fuck out of my face.
That's really that's basically that was the translation.
And I'd have 10 if it wasn't for Eli Manning and Nick Foles. So.
Yeah, he can't beat those. He couldn't beat those boys, man.
Went to 10 Super Bowls. So I mean, like, listen, man, like that's fun to me. I don't know what y'all want to do. You guys want to fucking play beach volleyball? I know that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to win football game, and I did that. So, yeah.
Facts. There's a lot of stuff going on around the NFL. I mean, the Dolphins, they win a close one. They're 2-3. They
get Tua back.
Confirmed?
I think he's out of the protocol after this week.
That's interesting. So we'll see.
Tua's putting it on the line, baby. He loves ball.
He loves ball.
Loves
Tua
ball.
Putting it on the line. Loves ball. We'll see what happens.
If you're Tua, would you play? Also, why doesn't Tua get the thing? They should make it mandatory that he wears the thing.
Yeah.
I'm wearing the thing too. I don't give a fuck. I'm wearing the thing.
And actually, and the thing that Nick is talking about for those who are listening is that extra head cover on the helmet. It doesn't look that bad on game days. They make it look just like the helmet. It doesn't look too bad, but I don't want to go down the.
You know what looks bad? CTE looks bad. So I'm wearing the fucking Guardian cap. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I mean,
because they said the number one reason guys aren't wearing it is because of how it looks. But I'm like, listen, all right. I'm surprised more guys aren't wearing it.
Yeah, and I heard some rumors that some helmets are just as good, but I mean, extra padding seems like the right thing to do. But I can't speak too much on that because I don't know for a fact. So I gotta chill on that. If it was found to be helpful and avoids me getting potential head injuries and it increases the likelihood that it protects my brain, then yeah, I would wear it. Like I don't, yeah, right. So you know how this shit goes though. It's the societal pressures of things, but yeah, it'd be interesting if the league mandated this shit.
You think you're getting clowned by your teammates if you show up to the game with that?
Come on, man. Of course you are. Like people are definitely clowning guys for that type of shit. People in the stands are clowning you, all types of shit, right?
Yeah.
But dude, the Colts scored 24 points in the fourth. Jaguars come back and win it 37-34. We had the Giants, I guess, lived up. They had a blocked field goal to avoid overtime. But a lot of different things we could talk about. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Daniel Jones played well. He's like low-key playing all right.
He's playing all right.
Yeah, he's playing.
He still
all
sucks.
Right.
He still sucks, and you need to move on. But
he's not the long-term answer. But yeah, he's playing. He's playing better. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. We're big holdout guys on this program. If we want everyone to get paid, and if you're underpaid, we want you to get more money. And if you are paid, we want you to get more paid. Josh Allen needs to restructure. Go get some more money. He's making like 47. Dak's making 60.
Not enough.
It's got to be. I'm not getting enough.
Something's not right.
So Devontae Adams on IG, he's posting pictures of Edgar Allan Poe, who wrote The Raven. So people thought that means he's going to the Ravens. Edgar Allan Poe also said, "Believe nothing of what you hear and half of what you see." One of my favorite sayings of all time. I think those are words to live by for real. Believe nothing of what you hear.
That's an Edgar Allan Poe situation?
I believe so. And half of what you see. In the internet age these days, believe nothing of what you hear, half of what you see. But
so if I tell you I'm out because of my hamstring, you probably shouldn't believe that.
And if I look like I'm out because of my hamstring, you probably shouldn't believe that either. If I'm
Russell Wilson, I'm inactive, but I'm showing up to the game in my shoulder pads.
Hey, what was that, by the way?
I don't understand. He's inactive, but he's in full uniform.
And did you hear that conversation that Collinsworth had about Russ?
Something's fishy there. I know that's what's up.
Russell be back, and it was almost like it sounded like he was gonna, when he was ready to go, he was gonna play for sure. Was kind of how I read what. Yeah, I'll get you the clip.
They're sick if they put in Russell over Justin Fields at this point in time. There's nothing. You're 3-2 at Justin Fields. You could have been 4-1. There's no reason to not continue down the Justin Fields path. It's always sounded like Tomlin doesn't believe that Russell Wilson's hurt though. There's something fishy going on there.
Something is going on with that
because he was named the starter, and then a week later he misses a game, and he hasn't suited up since. Well, he suits up. That's the other thing. Why are you in uniform? That's like, remember when Jameis was suspended in the first half and he showed up in uniform and Jimbo Fisher was like, "Dog, what are you doing?"
I wasn't joking around, Jameis. You're not playing.
Suspended. You're not playing.
Jameis showed up to the warm-ups and was throwing the rock around. He was about to start. It's like, Jameis, bro, you're not playing.
Remember they show the conversation when he goes and talks to him, and then they show like 5 minutes later, Jameis is in warm-ups.
Yeah, dude, Jameis is a wild boy. Shout out Jameis. He should be playing in Cleveland. That's a whole other court. But really quick, we're running out of time here. We don't want to go too much past an hour. But the question is, Big Nick the Quick, is Devontae Adams handling the holdout the right way? Because I'm on wax on a couple different programs saying by week 3 or 4, Devontae Adams and Max Crosby are going to want out of town. Devontae does want out of town. And Max Crosby just had a press conference after the game saying, "I got the Raiders tatted on me. If you think I don't want to be here, that's cap. I want to be with the Raiders. Free Max for me. I just want him to be in a better spot because, man, he's an absolute dog." But
he saw your shit talking rookies and shit, and
he said, "Speak up. They can't hear you.
They can't hear you, Bo."
Bo, they don't know what they're doing, Bo. Speak up.
Hey, Bo Nix, by the way, just real quick. Bo Nix playing all right.
Playing all right. Sean Payton.
Playing all right.
Hey, and he went at Sean Payton like, look.
Yeah, he said, "Hey, bro.
You saw that?
Shoot with your perks need to get out of my fucking face right now."
Right. Like, I saw what you did to Russell. Like, hey, look. I'm going to speak my mind.
I didn't play 7 years in college for this.
But, Big Nick the Quick, is Devontae Adams handling the holdout the right way?
So I'll preface this by saying I'm the biggest holdout guy in the world. I call you all the time telling people should hold out. I mean, I think everybody should hold out, right? But usually when I say you should hold out, it's for more money. Devontae Adams is not holding out for money. He is holding out to get out of the situation, and that is something I'm never big on. If your contract's right, which his contract is right, he's one of the highest paid players in the league. I have an issue with you not playing. I can't sit here and talk about Ben Simmons, right? And how I feel about him as a human being, and in the same breath, not criticize Devontae Adams for being healthy and just not playing on a good contract. So I understand that he wants to get out of L.A. Or I'm sorry, where do they play now? Las Vegas, right? I don't blame him for wanting to get out of there. He came over there 3 years ago to play with Derek Carr. Next thing you know, he's playing with Jimmy Garoppolo. And then another year later, he's playing with Aiden O'Connell. So I get it, man. And for receivers, we know Receivers more so than any other position. If you're not catching balls, you're just not doing anything, right? If you're not producing via catches and receiving yards, you are just out there sprinting and doing cardio. So I understand, right? Like, it's tough for a wide receiver of his level to kind of watch that. But hey, you wanted to get out of there. You got out of Green Bay. You came to Las Vegas. You got a massive deal. We saw your house on the wide receiver show on Netflix. You're living okay. House is looking great.
We saw the daughter's birthday party.
Birthday party was OD. So, like, you know what I mean? So I think from a financial standpoint, you're fine. So it's okay to go out there and play while also saying, get me the fuck out of here, right? But I do have an issue with guys just not playing when you are being paid what you're worth. So I'll say that. I'm sure you're surprised by that take because I usually, again, as the biggest holdout guy in the world. I know, listen, plenty of guys who I think should currently hold out right now, but he's not one of them.
Yeah, I think your point is well taken because you are handsomely paid. There might be a way to go to the org and be like, hey, look, I really want to get out of here. Can you guys help me out with a move? I'm at the end of my career. But that shit doesn't work, man. Going up and having that conversation with people typically doesn't work. You got to force people's hands. Salute to James Harden. He's done it for years, right? That's what it seems like Devontae Adams is trying to do. He's just trying to force their hand. You don't want to move me? I'm not going to be here. That's it.
But it's different in football. There's only 17 games. The NBA, you could fuck around. You could be like James and show up 100 pounds overweight and let the situation play itself out. This is now 2 straight weeks the dude's just not coming to work.
Yeah, I get it. I just wish this was one of those things where preseason, like, you had a whole offseason to kind of do this. We knew, you knew coming in.
You watched the receiver show. He's been unhappy there since last year. I mean, he couldn't hide it on that show. He could not hide how unhappy he was on that show.
So that's what I like from, a franchise standpoint. You knew this was going to be an issue unless you were delusional and thought you were going to be 4-0, which I don't know why you would think that. I guess all franchises are a little delusional in that sense. But this was always going to be an issue that reared its ugly head in the middle of the season, and that's exactly where we are now. You should have just figured out a way to move off Devontae in the offseason because it was never going to be good. But I do lean your way. There has to be a way to get him on the field. But then you also don't want him out there going 50%. He seems up to here with it. I don't care, bro. Get me out of here or my hamstring is hurt. That's it. And that's all. So
I don't blame him for wanting out. I want to be clear on that, but I don't like when you have the deal and all. Again, when we talk about holding out, it's because I'm not making enough money, right?
Right.
When we talk about when I'm like
this
that's
isn't
a holdout
fair
for me. This isn't fair. I'm not making enough money. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? Daniel Jones is making $40 million a year, but I'm Sam Darnold and I'm making $10 million a year. Sam Darnold should hold out. Yeah, Sam Darnold should hold out. That's a guy who, if I'm Sam Darnold this week, I'm like, hey, we got 14 days to figure this out, guys. I'm going to Cabo. Here's my number. Call me. This is my agent's number. Call me. Hey, look, we're playing great. Hey, Kevin O'Connell. His name Kevin O'Connell. Hey, man, this has been great. Yeah, we're 5-0. This is fucking awesome. We just handed it to Aaron. Hey, we're in London. I'm going to go on this fucking 10-hour flight. And hopefully by the time I land, my paper situation is a little different because Daniel Jones is making $40 million and I'm making 10. So,
hey, Kev, if you want to see me in a couple weeks, if you want to see me in 2 weeks, I need that paper, bro.
But
I know. Hey,
leave in London.
I appreciate all the things you've done for me, Kev, these last month. I need some more paper, dog.
Hey, you know what? Me and the wife, we're actually gonna fly to Madrid. I'm gonna go catch Vinny and Killian and them boys real quick. Yeah. So just let me know what we got going on here. I need my money. That's fine. If Sam Darnold held out right now, I'd be come up on the show next week and tell you that's a great business move. That's not the case for Devontae Adams. He shouldn't be doing this, but they also need to trade him. This shit looms over your franchise.
That's what I mean.
This is your real first year as a head coach. You just don't want that situation there. It's also a terribly managed franchise, if we're being completely honest, and everything they've done since they moved to Vegas. I thought they never should have moving off of Derek Carr for Jimmy Garoppolo was asinine to me. You went from Derek Carr to a poor man's Derek Carr, which isn't even possible. But you know what I mean? Like, shout out Jimmy G. Hey, you want to talk about epic check getter? The best
check
elite.
Getter. Jimmy
Elite.
G.
Hey,
Nice guy, man. I kicked it with Jimmy G.
5-star
a couple
general.
times.
Yeah, no, that's your guy. That's your guy. But
Jimmy G,
5-star
nice
general.
Dude.
5-star general of check getting. The Dwight Eisenhower of check
Yo,
getters. The George Patton of check getters.
Ulysses S. Grant of check getting.
Yeah, Ulysses S. Grant. Shut out, my man. The Colin Powell of the check.
Winston Churchill of the check.
Winston Churchill of the check. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? Come on. It's the Castro of getting checks. Yes, I'm available. Pay me.
Oh, my God. Maybe that's what we should call that segment. Oh, my God. That's so good.
Presidential. Yeah, so listen, I got no problem with him wanting out because it's a bad situation. It's a bad situation for a receiver, but I'm not big on just not showing up to work is not what's up for me.
Yeah.
Unless you're trying to get a new deal.
All right, let's get out of here on a couple different things when it comes to the MLB playoffs. Big Nick the Quick, man. Look, I'm locked into baseball because I have to be for work. I'm talking about it on the day-to-day. Check out the show, man. The Line, True TV. I'm on there daily, 6:30 live.
Hey, we saw the big. Hey! Shout out to Sean for the big write-up, man.
Got a Sean and Doyle, little write-up.
Yeah, no, that's a good write-up. Sean and Doyle got a Sean, and it wasn't a fluff write-up too. I read it, man. They actually knew what they were talking about. Said you and Doyle are betting guys who just happen to be on TV. Which I think I've talked to you about this before. A lot of these, I'm not going to talk about your colleagues, but a lot of these betting people didn't place a bet until like 6 or 7 months ago. You can tell. You're out here giving out minus 350s and things of that nature. But
a lot of different things. But yes,
a lot of tomfoolery out there. But it's very clear that you guys know your stuff, man. So it's dope to see you get some recognition for that, man. So yeah, definitely check out the Line.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, it was cool to get organic. Like no one paid, because I even hollered at the folks at TNT Sports. I was like, man, who paid this dude to write this? And and I actually reached out to dude to say thank you, and he was like, yeah, I like the show, man. I watch it from time to time, and I didn't see no one had really talked about it too much, so I figured you guys deserved a write up. It's a good fun show, so yeah, check it out. True TV.
So that's what I'm saying. Going off our last conversation, if you didn't show up to work tomorrow, it's a holdout.
Yeah, correct. But I'll be there.
I'm just playing. So wouldn't do that.
I'm happy.
I'm kidding.
All right, let's talk about playoff baseball, because this is the type of playoff baseball I love. I'm locked in because I need to be for work.
All the way locked in.
First of all, the matchups are elite. Yeah. This Yankees-Royals is a great matchup. Tigers-Guards could be – we'll see what shakes there. But the Padres-Dodgers, these players don't like each other. The franchises don't like each other. The fans don't like each other. They're chirping each other. They even got Shohei Ohtani throwing the bat after a home run. He never does shit like that. He hit a homer in game one, 3-run shot, chucked the bat damn near into the dugout. So this is what I love. This would bring me back into baseball. This type of baseball where people are chirping, talking, and backing it up, and overall having fun on the field. Fernando Tatis Jr. said in the presser, they asked him, what's too far when it comes to the fans? And he was like, honestly, come to the park, have a good time, drink as much as you want, say whatever you want, have a good time. I'll even banter and go back and forth with you. I love that stuff. But don't start throwing shit on the field. That's probably when you cross the line.
That shit's always been fucking corny.
It's so corny, bro. What is that about?
It's soup. The whole pouring of beer on guys. Like, listen, man.
That shit is lame.
A lot of these guys are better people than myself, because I would probably I'd Ron Artest. I'm not even like, don't pour. I'm not. That's so degrading. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not someone to pour your fucking beer on.
Yeah, facts.
Like, that shit's 100%. Corny as fuck. Yeah.
And it's not that serious. The fans fighting in the stands and in the parking lot. Look, bro, just chirp and do what you got to do.
Yeah.
I've said this multiple times on Twitter, on this pod. First of all, I can go on wax. Me and Nick together are the best fun kosher hecklers in the world today.
Courtside Bulls, Lakers.
If we could heckle, and I've had to, and I can't do it anymore just because like I'm more in the media now. But like, still to this day, me and Nick can go to a game and heckle someone and not swear or anything, and have the entire section with us, and we'll get players to interact with us, and we haven't gone anywhere close to being out of line at all.
We had KCP padding his pockets.
We had KCP talking about his paycheck at the free throw line.
Yeah.
He was talking to us about his paycheck at the free throw line. Dwight Howard was talking to us at the free throw line about his shoes. So we get it.
Yeah.
Man, get the we gotta get the kosher heckling and banter
have fun
back.
with it, man.
Why y'all
but
trying
you're right.
to fight and
The
stab
cursing
people in
and the name calling and the trying to go over the lines just for laughs and just for fun. I don't actually hate any of these people.
It's corny.
I don't have an issue with KCP or Dwight Howard. I would never talk about Dwight Howard about some of the other allegations out there. Like, I would never do anything like that. You know what I mean? I probably wouldn't go at KCP about that bread he gave up because that's too far.
So
it's all, heckling is fine.
Dude, the Mets-Phillies series, those fans hate each other. They're close in proximity. It has been an absolute war between those guys. You only have to watch after the seventh inning. Nothing happens the whole 1 through 6 ever, and then 7 through 9 are off the chain. So, and they banter.
Do you see a lot of Mets fans in New York?
Chirp.
Are they out there?
Yeah, there's a good amount of Mets fans.
Is it like a White Sox thing, or is it more Mets fans?
No, there's more Mets fans. It also depends. Like, if you're up north or in Queens, there's Mets fans.
If you're in Queens, forget about it, right?
If you're uptown, I guess the Bronx is New York, but like when I'm at LaGuardia,
like you don't go to Queens, right? Like there's no real reason.
I need to go. No, Queens has some really good food. I recently went up to Queens to get some Asian cuisine, but that's about it. I need to get up there more. It's just far, man. And I live in Brooklyn, so it's harder to get to Queens. There's no trains running, so you got a cab. It's like there's no it's just a little harder, or you got to go in the adventure. It's an adventure. So yeah, you gotta make some time for it. But I thought it'd be fun. Big Nick the Quick, as this new generation comes into baseball, which I love, they rocking. I'm talking VVS diamond chains.
Love it.
Sparkling, almost blind in the picture, damn near.
Yep.
They got all types of stuff on. Some dudes, Castellanos rocks no shirt under the jersey. Some guys rock shirts. Some guys rock headbands. Bryce Harper rocking the headband. Some dudes rock 4 or 5 chains.
Lewis Robert rocks like an 80 millimeter fucking Cuban.
The Cuban heavy boy.
Pantera.
The La Pantera.
Pantera.
So I figured out, ask Nick, if you were a ball player, what would you wear? Would you wear 3-4 chains? Would you wear your pants low, pulled up?
I wouldn't.
Is your shit unbuttoned low? Are you wearing a headband?
I'm not wearing
eye black?
I'm not wearing the tight pants. I'm doing the baggier pants. I'm doing the Manny Ramirez joints.
The Manny Ramirez joints?
The Man Ram joints. Shout out Manny, bro. Manny's a one-on-one.
Shout out Manny, bro.
Hey, Manny would bring me back to baseball. I watch Manny every day.
I'll tell you this. If there's one guy that I haven't heard from, but I know he's enjoying retirement, it's Manny Ramirez.
Manny Ramirez. Remember when they tried to ask Manny Ramirez
my man Manny chilling.
They tried to ask about steroids and he pretended like he didn't speak English. This guy's from the Bronx. Literally he's from New York City.
He
grew up in New York City.
What? Oh, no English.
Grew up in New York City, but it's all good. Shout out Manny Ramirez. Yeah, so I'd have the baggier jeans. But my cleat game would be crazy, right? Like, I think now one of the cool things you're seeing on the football field as well is you could pretty much take any pair of shoes and make cleats out of them. Yeah, so my cleat game would be elite. I'd have a couple Jordan 1 cleats, new colorways, like the whole thing. I'd have some 11s, all that. Chains, absolutely, probably 5 or 6. Enough that I could wear that it wouldn't slow me down, but you could tell that the chains are going. My sunglasses would be the multicolored joints. I'd for sure have the dreads with the blonde tips at the end, kind of like Tatis. I'd have the Tatis joints. And then I'm having the bandana over it. Like, I'm gonna be crazy. If they let me wear a watch, I'm probably wearing a watch too. I might do like, remember when Odell was playing in the Hublot or whatever,
and the Richard
Mille, the Richard Mille. Yeah, I have one of those on.
Richard
Bracelet
Mille.
on the other one. No shirt on under. I definitely have the open chest joint and be tatted like crazy. I would look amazing on the field. Absolutely amazing on the field.
Would you grow the hair out?
Yeah, I got the tattoos.
Oh, you'd have tattoos. How come you've never grown your hair out ever? Your shit's been low for 30 years.
It doesn't grow. So what'll happen is, like during COVID, I didn't get a haircut for like 5 months. Yeah. All it does is my hair grows back. Like I got my hair cut 3 days ago and it's already growing back. It'll grow back fast, but then it'll stop growing and it just starts matting. I couldn't get braids or dreads if I wanted to. That's why I can't grow a beard. Like I don't grow hair at all.
So if you wanted the Tatis, you would get you would have to get the Javi Baez joints, the extensions.
I'd have to get the extendos. And they look good too. And they look good too. The whole thing would be crazy, bro. My shoe game would be impeccable.
You'd have earrings or no earrings?
Yes.
You said yes.
The big joints. Dog, when I come up, listen.
The R. Kelly boys?
Yeah, pause. Yeah, but
you remember when Kells used to rap the
yeah, those big ass joints. Yes, dog, I have it all.
Okay, the KGs.
Yeah, the KGs.
The big boys too.
Oh man, it would be crazy because baseball is the only sport where you can really get it off like that. You know, like football, like you wear the chain, but it's under here. Basketball, you can't wear shit. Baseball, like you can really get it off.
Yeah, you can really get it off. Yeah.
Hey, you see even the white dudes out here, chains all over the place. Everybody, yeah.
Yeah, everybody.
Nobody does it like the Spanish cats though. Some of these guys are out of control.
The Spanish boys is wild.
The Spanish boys, them Cubans. Don't let no Cuban up in there, man. Like Cubans are coming deep.
Make sure you catch some MLB playoffs, of course. I'll be back this week. I'm going to do another little thoughts. I'm going to talk about a couple different things. Be on the lookout for the CHSN Chicago only feed as well. We'll talk about that coming up here in the next couple of weeks. For Big Nick the Quick, I am your host, Sean Little. Tell your homie to tell a friend. Subscribe to the pod. Share the link. Share the YouTube. Share the vids. Until next time.